Rob G, was there this was a story, wasn't it, about the Joker?
You seem so unsure of yourself.
I am today.
Like it's just
the Yardbarker joint.
No. That's why I forgot if it was a story or something.
So
told you I don't like the way you were setting that up. What you were talking about a minute ago. You all right, man, over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
So yesterday, SGA we talked about on the show was crowned the NBA's MVP. Ran away with I think it was 79-21 or something like that in the total votes. But interestingly enough, by finishing in the silver medal spot, Nikola Jokic has accomplished a feat that we have not seen in decades. Yesterday, the Joker became the first player since Larry Bird to finish in the top 2 in MVP voting for 5 consecutive seasons. During that time, he's either finished first 3 times or second twice. What's more?
What's crazy is with the season he had this year and the Embiid trophy that they gave to him, he could have all 5
ain't crazy.
of them.
That is not crazy.
Am I right?
That is
Seriously.
not crazy.
Because the Embiid one after the finals last year, 2 years ago, people were like, "We might have made a mistake." What do we do?
Thank God we got that award before that.
You know
happened.
that? Oh God, they would have get. And then obviously this year, his numbers were better than any of his MVP years. But Shea had the.
What'd you say about Lamar Jackson?
What?
First player, guys, in NBA history to finish the top 3 in points, rebounds, and assists for a season. But going back to the 5-year mark, since the turn of this decade, since 2020, in the playoffs, the Joker, who's really only had one deep playoff run in that span, first in rebounds, assists, double-doubles, triple-doubles, and he's second in points in the playoffs during that span, which led Yardbarker to put in a column that Nikola Jokic, as of now, has been the player of the decade in the NBA for the 2020s. Guys, here's the question. Coming up here in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to have 2 guys, SGA and Ant-Man, who many are saying are the future, the next faces of the NBA potentially. You guys talked about Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson in hour 1. Moving forward for the next 5 years, do you expect that Nikola Jokic will remain the NBA's player of the decade?
I absolutely think so because he has such a head start. And when you're that good the first 5 years, you don't need to do it 3 or 4 years, right? All you need to do is have 2 really good years and say the Nuggets win 1 championship or they get to the finals or whatever it is. And then you got 7 years where you're in either first or second because I don't see his numbers going down. And it doesn't mean he's going to win the MVP, but he'll be in that mix. He'll be in that mix. And if you're in that mix 7 out of the 10 years, how are you not the player of the – it's one thing if he didn't win a championship. Then you could say somebody came along and won 1 or 2, and that'll be the end of that. But if he wins 1, possibly another one in the next 5 years or gets to a finals and they lose in 6 or 7 games, you would look at it and go, man, what a 10-year run this has been.
I completely agree. It's his to lose. What he's done is remarkable. It's been incredible. And honestly, every year you go, he kind of is the MVP. It's been happening now for 5 years. He's won a ring. He's been MVPs. He's got the All-Star appearances. There's 2 caveats I would like to offer, though, Rob. 1, if I have to make a case for something else. 1, his own success individually cripples him because at this point, well, we know you're good. You got to win, right? When you get this good, Michael Jordan, young, flying through the air, scoring, bunch of scoring titles, we want to see you win. And so he's got the 1, but you would start to think if he's that good, MVPs all the time, or at least being first, second, he should have more rings. So I think, does that work against him? Let's say it continues how it has been the last couple of years. First round, second round exits. Does that flip in the last 5-6 years turn into, well, if he's that good, why didn't he win more? It was a whole decade. He only got 1. And the other caveat, Rob, is the only person nipping on those heels a little bit to me who has a shot, 2 people, 1 in particular, Giannis, because he has 2 MVPs already. He already has finals MVP and a ring, so it's kind of matching you there. And he's been right there in those finals races a couple of times, too, when, finishing very close. And if he were to, we know there's rumors he might want to go somewhere else. Let's say he links up and goes to the Spurs, as people are saying is a possibility with that number 2 pick. And him and Wemby just go crazy for the next 4 or 5, 6 years till the end of till we get to 2030. And he wins one. I don't even go crazy. Just say he wins 2 more, not 3, 4. Just wins 1 or 2 more, 1 or 2 more Finals MVPs, an MVP in there. He's already got a Defensive Player of the Year. He's been an 8-time All NBA, 5-time All Defensive Player. He's the only other one that and he's like this year averaged 30, 12, and 7. That's crazy. If it kept going for Giannis, he's the only one to me that I could be like, all right, it's between those two.
The only thing is, your Giannis thing, they've been disappointing in the postseason.
I've been on him about that. I know that.
So I don't know how that works for Giannis, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at,
that's why I'm saying the Spurs. If he goes somewhere where,
and even then, if he goes to the Spurs, is it going to be about Giannis, or will people go, well, look where he went and what they did to Kevin Durant, and not that the Spurs have won anything,
right?
But they have they have young players who could be a bigger part of it, and it could be Wemby's team. I'm not saying that Giannis would be a third wheel or anything,
right.
but
I get what you mean. Where it was a super team or this, that, and it takes a little away.
But they would be like, well, I mean, he's playing with an unbelievable player that we had never seen before. And that you take a little credit. I know we talk about all the time, and I don't know why people just don't buy into it, but Shaq and Kobe being on the same team, why they didn't win, MVPs, and it does eat into you a little bit. And I think the
Split
Joker,
votes,
right, where it looks to me, where you go, he's doing this without. You can talk about Murray all you want, but the facts remain that there's no other number 2 big-time player with him. I think that helps him.
It absolutely, that's why I'm agreeing he has the lead right now. But I think Giannis is nipping, and if the last 5 years of the decade go in favor of Giannis, not even drastically, but you can make a case. The only other person I'll throw at you, it's not going to happen, but he can make a case resume-wise. Possibly Jason Tatum. We know he's not better than Jokic, but again, if he messes around and get 2 more rings, because he's gone, I mean, the finals already a couple times. He stays in the Eastern Conference Finals. He could have an insane resume where for the last, say 5 or 6 of the years in the 2020s, he was in the finals. Maybe won 3, maybe lost 3, maybe won a couple, lost a couple. But that could be a case. So to me, the only things working against Jokic is his own success individually, maybe not matching up to what we would want to see from him collectively. Like he would need more rings, more finals appearances if he's that great. Because historically, if you own a decade, well, you've owned the finals. Like we mentioned, Jordan owned the 90s. Magic owned the 80s, 9 final appearances, which is absolutely crazy. You got LeBron, 10 final appearances during the 2010s and however many he won in that. And then Steph owned the 2010s and into the early 2020s. So usually when you're the guy for a decade, there's more finals appearances. So if Jokic, if he gets to 2 more finals, even if he only wins 1, it's a wrap. It just flat out, it's a wrap. Give him the 2020s. But I do think he has to get to more finals appearances, or at least Western Conference Finals, like more regularly, where he's that great, you can automatically pencil him in for Western Conference Final at a minimum.
Yeah, he's going to be in the mix, and if he wins one more or 2, and he's in the top,
done deal.
Yeah, because of his stats, and I think, I really do, going into next year, he's the favorite. Not
MVP
yep.
or okay? I thought you meant ring. I was
I'm talking about
MVP.
MVP.
Yes,
for 2 reasons, real quick. A, the numbers, and Rob G just talked about what he was able to do that nobody had done, or whatever. 3 guys had done it in the history of the NBA. And number 2, the Shea flopping and all that. I think people, a little bit of is coming off of him.
Because we see him now. You're seeing him all the time.
Like everybody's
in big
watching him and they're like, oh.
That's a real thing.
I thought he was a little better than that. Like this is like kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And I've heard people say, I don't know. All right.